What is up, Old School RuneScape? It's your boy, John McGarrett, and I got some terrible news for you guys. I lost 2 subscribers last night, so I'm very upset, but I am going to keep grinding. We'll try to pull through. Yeah, I don't know what I did. Maybe it's because I've just been releasing very basic 10-minute update videos of my Fresh Start series, which is very lame, very boring, so I kind of understand if that's the case. I feel like my content isn't for everybody, but I am here for the boys. I'm here to help you make money and to keep reaffirming the strategy to make money. But today's episode of Fresh Start is going to be checking the 40 accounts, talking about it, and a rune forecast. And I want to briefly go over something. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'll make it its own video, but I'll talk about it a little bit and then go into it for a little bit. So yeah, content going forward, yeah, it's just talk. Yeah, so 19 hours is the last time I logged in, but I'll say it's like 22 hours because I logged in on them multiple times because it was 17 hours from that big dump of fire runes we had yesterday. So we'll just say 22 hours. Just 24. We'll just make it 24, nice and simple. So we're gonna check the updated. I have a feeling we made a lot of money again today because I peaked at the whatevers. Yeah, so kind of, hit a wall with content creation here because holy moly, we purchased, looks like we're up 60, or what is that, 37.5 is, oh my god, my brain, 7,500? Is it 7,500? Yeah, 7,500. I made 75k per account. It's starting to look like here. Looks like there's a lot of dumps. In net worth, okay? Mind you, that is net worth because, oh, you guys can't really see that. Oh yeah, that was a complaint I was getting from the boys because they wanted me to do that that specific overlay or whatever, but you don't really need to see it. You can see a bunch of green bars here that how my sales all went green as well. So I'm just going to empty everything out. Most of the sales almost went through again. And again, like I was saying before, there's a little bit of caveat, a little bit of nuance here I'm talking about. So when I say I'm going to make 67 or 75k per account, that is an increase in net worth based on sales, previous sales. So it's not technically realized gains yet, but I do predict, like, because you can see from the previous sales before, I was able to sell on this account, for instance, 144,000. This account was able to sell 138,000. And yes, that is including the red bar. This isn't whatever. I'm looking at the actual sales that went through before I aborted the offer. Right, so there's that. But it looks like every single account caught 75k, so I'm glad I got on to check this because I need to get my cash back into there moving, because 75,000 is more than 30,000 for every single account. And the reason why I'm selling is because, or canceling the sales, is because I want to I want all the cash back and all the runes back so that I can just refill the offer or whatever. You know what I mean? Okay, whatever. So how I'm going to do this, just so everybody has kind of a guide, so I'm giving you a little value. So when I do this, I break them all down. I abort offer with the menu entry slopper. There is a button. You probably can't see this very well. Can I blow that up? Nope, that won't do anything. Yep, that's probably why they want me to do this. But if you go to this menu over here, the options menu, and you go to menu entry swapper, there should be a little gear that says edit plugin configuration. And it is, I don't ever remember where it is. It's not NPC. I think it's UI. Yeah, if you go to UI swaps, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and you hit GE abort and check that. You can turn your offers off with a shift click. Okay, that's just for anybody who's new here and saw me do that, doesn't understand what I'm doing. Just want to try to be more in depth, try to reserve the rest of my subscribers. Please don't unsubscribe, please. I know, just to be trolls. People are probably unsubscribed now. Anyway, yeah. That being said, I care, but I don't care because I'm just trying to grind for the sake of grinding, putting the videos out regardless of whatever. I'm just going to do whatever I feel is necessary to maintain the what I'm trying to achieve here with my YouTube channel, which is to teach you guys how to make money. And I want to just stick with the hard money. This is I believe this is ultimately the best, and I could probably be doing a better job making a case for this being the best moneymaker, I think, ultimately in the game, and break some math down. We'll break some math down for you today. Okay. So, at least I'll take you through my mind here. So, okay, so we're gonna cancel everything out. We're gonna, this is for pure fire rune closed cycle trading, and as you can see, we got over 75k. We've got about 75k fire runes on each account. Okay, so because of that, let's check Let's check the prices for fire runes again, just make sure that the margin is stable. As you can see here, don't really need to see. We have a stable 6.5 margin still. Anyway, just want to break down how you do close cycle really quickly. So yeah, we abort all offers. We get all the runes into our whatever. Then we make the offer to sell. This is where we need to be really careful and not click confirm right away, because if they go in at 5, they will immediately sell, because people like me and you are waiting to try to capture sales at 5. So they will insta sell. Do not make that mistake. Do not misclick here. Get everybody to the 1 sale. And we're doing 1 fire rune because we can have 1 sell offer, 2 buy offers, and we're still breaking 30K a day, so we are hitting goal. So it is efficient. It's worth our time. We can optimize and make more money if we really want to by making a spread, but this is just for simplicity's sake. We are trying to optimize for efficiency instead of total gross gain per day. Okay, so because efficiency scales better than gross gain. Okay, just in labor hours, because we're trying to efficiently increase our ability to make this as easy as possible for us mentally, because when you start, like, think about this with 20 accounts, it may be easy, but think about this with 1,000 accounts now. We need it to be super easy. Do you really want to cycle around three different items on each account? Do you want to collect trades on 1 mule with 3 different items? Yes, you'll technically get more gross income meaning profit. I think net and gross both work. They both work as definitions here, but we don't want to overload ourselves by making it so unbearably, because it's already going to be super unbearable. Like, if you guys get to 100, get to 200 accounts, it's going to be really hard to maintain this, because it's so brain dead to do this type of thing. But that's why we're doing 1 item fire runes OP until we don't see like it's worth our time anymore. Then we'll do 1 item. So it'll be feathers, air runes, fishing bait, grapes, whatever you want, maple logs, willow logs, whatever you want. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying here. So anyway, hop back in. It is super efficient to do it this way. This is a lot easier. That's, moral of the story. So then, boom, we're going to click 5% to go up by 1, because I've been hitting this little plus sign before, but that's really annoying. So this 5% will take you up 1. So we're just going to do everything 1 step at a time, because this is a thing called, for review for everybody, batch sequencing. Okay? Or batch processing. God, I just combined them both together. Sorry, I made 2 more videos before this because I got to get ahead, because tomorrow I have to make today's video today and then tomorrow's video today too, because I have to go take my I have to go somewhere important for my family. That's gonna take me away all day, so I am whatever. Yeah, so I'm ahead of the curve instead of waiting till 11 o'clock to shoot the episode and making a crappy product for you guys. But anyway, yeah. So now we're going 5% higher on everything, and then we're gonna confirm. And this is where we're getting our net worth from. This is where our net worth gain is, and how I'm recording profit every day. Whatever, because this is 6. It's going to record it at 6, because it's 75K, and 75K times 5 is 375, not 450. Okay, so that's where our net worth profit is coming from. We're predicting the sale to go through because we can see the chart. It's a pretty safe bet. I would not give you guys net worth gains for the profit I made on items I was not 100% sure are probably going to sell. Okay, does that make sense? And if they didn't sell at 6, I would report it to you guys as a net worth loss if I had to sell back at 5. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you guys. Why now? How like the profit and stuff you're seeing from my videos or whatever. For today's episode, I'm just trying to spice it up a little bit so you guys can get into my mind a little bit. So the content was a little stale. I think I did like 5-10 minute videos in a row of just me not really talking about anything. But this time around, I'm just trying to like break it down for like new people and break it down for people who are here. I read you loud and clear with the 2 subs leaving me. I need to hold on to you guys. I need to treat you more. I need to value you more and just try to really give you more. Yeah. Anyway, so then we're going to go back into buy offer. So again, we're batch processing. Again, to review to everybody, batch processing is a more efficient system of getting a large volume of tasks done more efficiently. And now there's another thing called sequential processing, which is where you start one account from step A and then finish it. So the best way to describe batch processing and sequential processing is like batch processing is like putting 100 slices of bread on sequential processing is making a peanut butter and jelly from start to finish, and then batch processing would be making 100 sandwiches at a time, or they're both making 100 sandwiches at a time, but sequential processing is where you make 1 sandwich at a time and then finish them from start to finish. Batch is where you take out 100 slices of bread, put them down, and then you take out your peanut butter, unscrew them, and then you put the peanut butter on 100 slices at a time, and then you put the jelly on the 100, you know what I mean? So it's doing it in batch, each step in batches, so that you can optimize flow state, okay? Flow state, okay, I feel like this is something that I could define to you guys too. Flow state is what we should be trying to achieve, and why RuneScape is so addicting to begin with anyway. Flow state is that where time goes away, and it's like your work feels like it's a drug, okay? For men, flow state is a drug. And that's why I'm assuming most men play RuneScape, is because it is obsessive. Because RuneScape triggers a flow state very often. You know how you feel like you don't want to play a RuneScape, so there's that friction, that initial friction of starting up RuneScape. But after you've like done it for 15 minutes, the same thing like Zora or woodcutting or anything, all of a sudden 8 hours go by like a snap. That is the main core principle of RuneScape that makes it so addicting, and that is because they're giving us flow state. And they're just like, there's a lot of other things, but the initial result is flow state. And there's things that trigger flow state, like the dopamine release from like the loot roll, and there's like a bunch of little things going on in the game. But the main thing that makes RuneScape, everybody keeps coming back to it, is because it's such an easy way for you to enter flow state. And the only way that really men can enter flow state is doing something with like that is hard and feels meaningful. So anyway, yeah. So batch processing is we're optimizing flow state. Okay. So then if we batch process and we learn a good sequence, that's the difference between sequential and batch processing, is that sequential processing is to learn the best way to do something. That's why you make one peanut butter and jelly sandwich at a time, then you'll eat it. Then you go, okay, well, I didn't like as much peanut butter, so I'm going to make the next one, sequential processing. It's not as efficient in terms of overall efficiency, but it's more efficient in identifying errors quickly. Okay. So then like peanut butter, too much peanut butter, too much jelly. The bread sucks. I don't like wheat. I like white bread. You know what I mean? Like, so you do these iterative processes. That's what the sequence is for. And that's the part I did. Now I'm teaching you my batch sequencing here. And then the batch sequencing, when you apply that, it is to optimize the flow state so that you can get a lot more done in a smaller chunk of time. But the problem with batch processing is you can't just jump into something batch processing, because scale works both ways. Scale works to make optimization. Scaling up your operation will do two things. It'll either scale up efficiency, and it also scales up inefficiency. So if you have a bad batch and you're maximizing your efficiency, but you're also maximizing inefficiencies. So that's the point of sequential processing versus batch processing. So there's my little tidbit of information there. That's like the fundamental concepts of manufacturing. That is what I've learned from the almost 10 years of manufacturing experience I have, and I applied it to RuneScape. So that's actually all the mechanisms that are going on in this entire process, and like how I've systematized and optimized one profitable action on RuneScape to turn it into the most money per hour. And I could show you with math eventually. We might get in that today. I don't know. I don't want to make this an hour long, because I know you guys are really cool and you're awesome and you love listening to me yap. And I'm YapMAXing. I'm a YapMaxer, but I don't want to like completely shut you off. Okay, so yeah, because I mean, like, it gets to me, I think it gets pretty stale. I could try to make it interesting as possible, but you can only make something so interesting to people who don't care. You know what I'm saying? So okay, the next part of our batch here is, so the optimization I figured out for like when you're looking at item up, I'm in the top right client over here, just so you guys can, or top left client here, so you can kind of follow along, is, you know, when you go to the Grand Exchange and then you go to search something, you'll normally type what comes to your head first. So if I want to look up fire rune, so the first letter is fire, you know, rune. But if I go fur, fee, you know what I mean? Fee isn't fire. So then like I have to type 3 letters before I get to the item I want. And the letters on the keyboard, or even if you look at FIR, they're far away. So it almost requires you to have 2 hands. So now how I've optimized that is I discovered that you can type the ends of words. You only need to type characters that are in the word to get it to search up in the search bar, because it's just looking for key letter. It's like looking for characters. It doesn't care what order they're in, as long as they're in the correct order. Or that sounded wrong. It doesn't matter which characters they are, as long as they're in the word correctly. So like fire rune, we can type fire rune out completely, or we can go, for example, RE. RE gets us adamant ore, which isn't good enough. But if we hit space, now we have fire rune as the first option, and you can hit enter and it'll take the first option. So now you don't even need to click on the item. It's all keystrokes, hotkeys, and stuff like that. So it's a touch more effective. It's a touch more efficient, which doesn't seem like a lot of efficiency. In another episode, I talked about efficiency it matters more because 3%, I don't know if anybody remembers, but I was talking about how efficiency doesn't seem to matter. Like 3% doesn't seem like a lot because with 100 gold, 3% is only 3 gold, but with 1 billion gold, 3% is now 30 million gold or something like that, and people like 30 million a lot more than 3, so efficiency matters. Anyway, yeah, so that tiny little efficiency, learning that through sequential processing scales up when you do it to 1,000 accounts. That tiny little efficiency adds up a lot. Anyway, yes, so boom. So the reason why, fire is 3 letters, or fur is 3 letters, and RE space is 3 letters. The reason why RE space is better is because now instead of taking 2 hands, because FIR, if you look at your keyboard, we're going to take 1 hand. And you can do RE space with 1 hand so that we can rapid fire go through the entire client. Because here's another inefficiency I've discovered from sequential processing, and that is when you look at item up, there is about a half a tick delay from when that item shows up on your screen. So if you sat there and you did it sequentially, like all these 20 accounts sequentially, you would be wasting roughly half a second on this step. Okay? So then what we can do is then get ahead of it because now we have both hands free. I can use my mouse to move down the line and use the middle mouse button to activate the next client without clicking off of the Grand Exchange. And then we can go RE space, RE space, RE space, RE space, RE space. So with practice, you could then just fly through it. Run back through to make sure you don't have any typos, because sometimes you do that, because I don't do this a lot. When I was doing this 500 accounts every week, it was a lot easier for me to make 0 mistakes. So RE space, RE space, RE space. And sorry, I know the clients are smaller, but I feel like what I'm telling you is more important than you being able to see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just going to talk about as much as what I'm doing as possible so that you guys don't need to even see it. You just kind of get the gist of it going on here. I just want to show it to you live that it does work on 20 accounts. We'll work on 50 accounts. It'll work on 100 accounts. It'll work on multiple virtual desktops, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think I have another one up, but yeah. Anyway. If I run more than 20 accounts, it's going to mess my microphone up anyway. So yeah. Anyway, so now the next step here is, again, the next inefficiency I've identified with sequential processing is when you hit enter, it takes about half a tick for, look at the top left one again. It takes about half a tick for it to register the fire rune and load the data about the fire rune. About half a tick. So now, again, same thing. Also, there's that inefficiency that's happening client side. There's also something in your head that is happening from mentally switching. So I may have said this in another video, you may have remembered, you're at your weakest when you're transitioning from one thing to another. So a lot of inefficiencies that happen in work is setup time. So setup time happens on the macro level when you're setting up a job, like when you first start your job, say you're opening McDonald's, or you're opening a gas station, or you're setting up your line to get ready for the day in a factory. That setup time is idle time. And if you have to set up multiple different projects, because project A requires one setup, project B requires one setup, you can think of that on the micro level too. So each decision you have to make, so like when you're sequentially going through something, you have to go A, B, to buy a fire rune, step 1, open your client, whatever, you know what I mean? And then the last step is closing your client. And then there's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, all the way. All those little micro steps, they do require a micro amount of setup. And if you sequentially go through these, it's going to take you a lot longer than doing each step one at a time, because then you only have to set up for that job, that step, one time, and then do it 20 times. And then you have to reset up for the next job. So then you're removing, but vice versa, you'd have to set up 20 times with sequential if you're going to sequentially go through. Okay. So hopefully this is all, I hope this is I think this is a huge value episode, honestly. But yeah. Just a good review to get everybody on board and keep everybody reviewed and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah. So how we're going to hit this one is just middle mouse button per client, enter. Now we're here. Okay, right? So now this is where we go to flipping utilities. This is the biggest optimization to this that I've ever found. So you come here, and then there's this right button here. You can't really see it, but there, if you hit the arrow pointing out, you have your little wrench. Then you have the 2 people who are friends or whatever. I don't know what that one means. But then there is a plugin hub, the plug. Okay? It's the plug button. If you hit search and you hit flipping, and my computer's lagging a little bit because I got so many clients up. And it's a graph with an arrow going up called flipping utilities. Click on that one, get it added on. And then you go back to your on the right side with the bar, you'll have the configuration, XP tracker, whatever plugins you have on the right side here. The one that looks like that bar, flipping utilities, you'll click it. And then when you're in an offer, so how this works is when you're in an offer, it doesn't work unless you're in an item. So you have to get to the item you're going to buy, fire runes, to get to the menu I'm about to tell you about. And then if you scroll down over here, you can't really see it, but you can see something scrolling over there. You know that. So if you scroll down, there's going to be on a second set of menus here, and what it'll be called quantity price. There'll be a blue check mark, quantity price. It'll be on price, and then a green plus mark here. You're going to click on quantity, okay? Now, there's below that quantity menu, you're going to have a key menu, a property menu, and a modifier menu, and they'll explain to you. If you hover over them, they'll explain what they mean. So key is just the button that will trigger the hotkey, okay? So I have OPL over here because those are buttons I don't normally press. The reason why I chose these OPL over here is because it doesn't get in my way when I'm typing for a rune. I don't like, they're clustered and they're not being used for anything else hotkey wise. And I just prefer them, but it doesn't matter what you choose here. Then the middle one is your property, so that if you hit the drop down menu here, it might not be on cash stack, but there's three options here. Remaining limit, which represents the remaining buy limit you have in that hour, or the 4-hour limit. And then there is GE limit, which you could just set it to buy the GE limit for that. That's good for like whatever, but I just use cash stack because I know exactly how much I want, and it's how much cash I have in whatever. So I set OPL, all three to cash stack for the property, and then the modifier, the third one over here, which is, I'll read it, any of these symbols, plus, minus, multiplication, followed by a positive whole number. Examples, +0, +10, take away 5 times 2. Make sure. It's misleading. It says whole number. I decided to test if that was true or not, and you could do decibels, like half. Like I think whole number, like maybe it meant real numbers or something like that. I did decibels. Okay, so my first one, I'll just start with L actually, because that's the first one we're going to use. L is cash stack times 0.333333 repeating, because that is the decimal which represents 1/3. Because we want to break this up into 3 if you like just having the option. Actually, what we're going to be doing here is 2 halves, so that doesn't matter, but we can still get there with what we got. All 3 of these are going to be your starter guide for how to get this going. Then cash stack for my second one is going to be P cash stack times 0.5, period 5. And that's going to represent half of whatever's left, okay? So the first one was 1/3, so we're left with 2/3, okay? 2/3, so times then that cash stack by 2/3, we'll chop it in half, giving us 2/3. So now we have our first one, which is 0.33, 1/3 of the cash stack. The second one, half of that 0.33, which is, or half of 0.66666 repeated, because that's what 2/3 is. We chop that in half, then we have another equal third, and then the last, what we're left with is a 1/3 stack left. So now, what do we do for that? We can't modify that, but I was like, oh wait, we could just do, maybe it even shows us in the modifier. Yeah, it does +0. So you just do cash stack +0 as your modifier, and it'll just use the rest of your cash stack. So those are my hotkeys I use for all of my trading, but for today, we only need to use the 0.5 and +0 because we only have 2 trade offers, but we want to split them up evenly into 2 even buckets. So the reason why this is important is we use this for the flipping utilities is because we want to split up our money evenly. We don't care how much whatever we're buying costs. So if something costs 9 GP and the other thing costs 5 GP, I don't care how much units I'm getting. I just want to split them up evenly into 2/3 or 2 halves or whatever. So like 9 is going to be like there's going to be a little bit less units of 9 than there would be of 5, but I'm still going to be getting my cash stack split up across the board. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I trade, and that's what we're doing here. Yeah, I don't know why I made myself bigger here. I thought maybe it would look better if I talked to you guys and use my hands so you can see my hands better. So maybe that's the way we go here. Whatever. Anyway, so that is the flipping utilities breakdown. Okay, now that we have that done, next step of the sequence is to put in our offer for half. So again, another little inefficiency in the client side is when you click the period click the period here for quantity, there's about a quarter second to half second delay. Doesn't seem like a lot. See how that was about half a second. Do it again. 1 Mississippi. Yep, about quarter second, half a second. Doesn't seem like a lot until you do it 100 times, 1,000 times, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so the next step here is to, you don't want to wait for it. You can get a couple ahead. So you know what I mean? Click, 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 click. You know, you could argue that it's not that much efficiency saved by getting ahead by 1 client at a time, but you can argue that by the mental setup in your head, by doing each step in batches with 1 setup times 20, is a very, 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 very significant efficiency to saving mental load. If it doesn't save time that much, it does save mental load, allowing you to handle a bigger workload. And if you can handle a bigger workload, you get more money. That's how it works. Anyway, yeah. Boom. So now we come back up and I'm gonna hit P for half. That's half my stack. And then middle mouse button, P, right? So it's brainless. That's the next setup. Boom, 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 P, 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 P. And then you come back up, middle mouse button, enter. And this is where a delay comes in too, because you have to send the command to the client and you have to wait for the server side. So sometimes I've noticed it takes longer sometimes because it depends on your ping, it depends on the lag of the server, etc. So yeah, just again, yep. So we're gonna go middle mouse button, enter, 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 enter. And even like the path you take, like going in a zigzag is actually less. I've noticed it's less mentally taxing on me. So going middle, like in a squiggly line for the top 10 and then a squiggly line for the bottom 10. Like even like the pattern, you know what I mean? Like you could reduce this entire process down to as many steps as you can. And how I've done that and how I've really discovered that is I wrote the entire thing down, and then I'd take each step and then break down each step into the micro steps. You know what I mean? Like I'd have, here's my step, and then I'd break it down into more steps down below. I guess you can't really see that, but you know what I mean? You could infinitely break this down if you really wanted to. Like, yeah, sky's the limit here. So then we're going to confirm. Okay, right? So boom, boom, boom. As you can see, that takes a little bit of time. Yeah, this is a 26-minute explanation. So I misclicked here, and then we're going to go back into buy. And this becomes automatic, you know what I mean? When you batch it like this too, you think a little bit about the first step, and then it becomes very, very easy to just automatically run through the rest of the batch. You'll feel the labor melt away. And the perfect part about us typing it out is that, and this is another major efficiency for running one item instead of multiple items, you only have to type once, because the Grand Exchange remembers the last item you looked up. So then you can just go through each client and hit enter, and that'll automatically select the last item you were on. Enter, 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 enter. Boom. See that? And then we'll just go back to our stack and then hit O, which is our last button to use the rest of our cash stack up. And then bam, we got the rest of our money up, confirm it. And then this is where I get my net worth for you guys. It's not exact numbers, but I just stop like that little number up there at the bank. Like, I don't know if your guys' GE does this. I don't know if it's a client or a setting I have for RuneLite or whatever. Maybe it's defaulted this way, but it tells you how much money is in the GE at so it also adjusts for whatever you set your price at. So that's where I do to get my net worth for you guys. So what I do to add that up is I go 1-1. So I just do it by 1,000, like how many Ks are in there. So 1180K plus 1350K plus 1390K plus 1350K, 1210K, 170, take away 170, plus 1700K, 13, whoops. And I usually add a couple times just to make sure I get the same number every time. 12900, because I make a lot of mistakes like that because I'm talking and trying to do this at the same time. 1190, 1440, 1310, 1450, 1520, 1470, 1320, 120. Oh, take away 120. Forgot a 0. Plus 1200. 1310, 1310, 1110. So we got 17,240. That's kind of weird. I think I missed some numbers because yesterday, either that or I really messed up yesterday's edition. We'll figure it out. So 17,240, and then we'll run it back. Really awkward. 11. I think I just forgot numbers. Sorry. 1180, 1350, 1390. I should probably cut this. Yeah. Can't get distracted. 1180, 1350, 1390, 1350, 1210, 1700, 1380, 1290, 1430, 1190, 1440, 1310, 1450, 1520, 1470, 1320, 1200, 1310, 1310, 1000. So I got 2680 that time. That last one was 17240. So I must have just like not put a zero in one of them. So anyway, we'll just run that back again one more time. Just cause 1180, 1350, 1390, 1350, 1210, 1700, 1380, 1290, 1430, 1190, 1440, 1310, 1450, 1520, 1470, 1320, 1200, 1310, 1310, 111 or 100. Oops, divided by 2. Oops, because I accidentally added itself to itself. 2680, got it twice in a row. So that is what I'm at for the net worth for these accounts. And I will make myself big real quick, because I'm going to hop over to the second set of accounts. So we can look at those real quick, but I don't want you guys to see my login information. So yeah, we are at 26.8 millions there. Because you just take whatever number I got there times 1,000. Yep. If this episode's a bunk, you guys can just let me know, all right? If this is not what you want to see, I just think it was good to review this entire process for people, because I am getting some new viewers. Most of the people watching the Fresh Start series are people that are returning viewers and stuff like that. And that's also kind of why I wanted to spice this up, because I know you guys may appreciate the forecast or something like that, or appreciate the updates on the value and stuff like that. But an economic principle is that once you have a good for the first time, it never is that good ever again. Does that make sense? It's an economic principle that's like, I read that in Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell. So knowing that, like, that means like when you go to a restaurant for the first time, it's never as good as the first time you go there. And like the easy example of that is like doing drugs. So like the first time like a meth head will smoke meth, and it's never as good as that ever again. And that's like chasing the dragon, that type of effect. That's true with my videos, and I know that for sure, and that's why I'm trying to like create some sort of novelty at least. You know what I mean? I feel like that this may not be a good attempt, but I am trying. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, I have to count. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And I know maybe I need to like actually put some effort in, like get some inspiration for some different ideas like money makers and stuff like that. I've had a lot of feedback from people about like members, stuff like that. But I mean, I struggle. Okay, so here's my gripe. Here's what I've been going through. I've been struggling with. I'm trying to figure this stuff out. I'm just sweating a lot. I'm not doing the joke again. The baldness joke. I'm just sweating. My head's sweating a lot. My it's hot as hell where I'm at right now. But the problem I'm having with the content is that like I have a personal mission to like my mission statement is to help new players and bring them in, and I can't bring myself to show them like I have an infamous video where I was experimenting with one of the Fresh Start videos, and I found a spot where we could pick up fish, and then that fish could be picked up and taken to the bank, and you could make like 60K an hour to 90K an hour, and it was very, very controversial. I didn't think it would be controversial. I said it was a joke in the beginning, like kind of a fun moneymaker, but nobody was really having that. They got really mad at me. It was my most disliked video. It had a lot of views or whatever, and it was very hard for me not to give it the temptation to rage bait people, because I really wanted to rage bait, because now I knew exactly how to trigger an OSRS player, which it shouldn't be hard to do. It's not hard to do that, to be fair. No offense. I mean, I get triggered just as much as the next OSRS player, but I shouldn't. I also, that goes against my mission statement. I don't want to rage bait people to get views. I want to make content to help new players make money. So that's like, and this has like been a hard pill to swallow, because I feel like a lot of the forecasting is like keeping you guys informed about the elemental market and the pure essence market, and showing you the growth of the 20 accounts just to show you guys, just to keep you nice and secure that the method I'm showing you is repeatable. And I mean, like, I'm 20 some episodes in and I'm still growing my bank exponentially. So like it's a struggle, you know what I mean? But I understand that I do need to also, it's part of my responsibility to keep you guys engaged, not necessarily entertained, but engaged by changing the level of content up. So these accounts also are not loading as fast as I'd like them to, so I have to figure out what else to talk about a little bit here, or just cut here. But I'm also trying to make it a thing I think I think, again, this is like a little, maybe it's a little petty personal mission statement, but I don't want to cut my content. And it started off as a laziness, but the more I thought about it, is like, I shouldn't have to cut content because I wasn't prepared. If I can't like keep the content engaging enough to keep the viewer engaged and give meaning to the viewer or whatever, then I'm at a skill deficit, and I feel like I need to fix that by struggling to make good content. And that means good commentary. I feel like I should be able to start an episode, because I'm not very good at scripted content. I should either learn to start scripts or talk meaningfully until there's no more dead time. Anyway, so those are the gripes I'm having, or the personal struggles I'm having with my little series, my little RuneScape commentary here, because like, I want to do fun videos. I want to do like what everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? It would be nice to like get those views that like Odablock is getting and stuff like that, like betting the tens of thousands of GP, or tens of billions, the 100 bill, whatever. You know, it's like high stakes. It's like $10,000 at a time in one fight, stuff like that, and the craziness and the drama and doing all that other stuff. But like, I can't bring myself to do it at the same time, because it's like, then I'm leaving behind the brand new free-to-play players who don't know how to make money. And like, I can't, that's who I'm like aiming to serve, and anybody else who decides to come through. And like, if that grows to be more people, like, because my Discord's doing great. It's got 35 people in it, pretty engaged, and everybody in there is super friendly. They give me a lot of feedback. They give me a lot of good ideas and stuff like that. A lot of the feedback I want to apply, but I really can't, because I'm under a time constraint too, because I'm stupid as well on top of everything else. And I'm working on that as well. But I was just very stupid enough to start 5 channels at the exact same time, and I'm trying to serve you all as if I'm putting my time into one. And beyond, like, increasing my level of stupid there, I decided that 1 video a week, like, is being recommended, like most people say, to make 1 video a week, 52 videos a year, you'll grow, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, that ain't good enough. I want to do 1 a day, because I need more volume. I need to train, and I need to get better at this very fast, because I need to get better at this for some reason. I mean, that's just, I mean, maybe you can relate as being a RuneScape player. You want more money and you want it now. But there's a lot of things going on, and I'm not saying all this is like excuses, because it feels like an excuse. I am trying to get you guys to excuse my behavior, at least try to be maybe patient with me, show me a little grace, a little bit of mercy. But yeah, now I have rambled on enough. But those are all my thoughts while I was thinking about why I got my next 20 accounts all set up. So hopefully you guys didn't even notice that. Oh, yeah, here we are. 24 hours almost exactly ago, 23 hours and 40 minutes. We are here. We have an entire, oh yeah, this is sweet. So again, this is that net worth thing, but we were able to, in 24 hours, purchase all this. Oh my God. This is insane though. Like, you guys can see all green. I put 375K on each account. So then I got 75K on each guy, just like the other people. So that means I made 75K times 40 per account. That is my profit. It's easy math, which is crazy, bro. That is crazy money. It's like the fire runes are the gift that keep giving. And I'm just going to slide those back in. For 6 at 450. If I wanted to really be a Nazi about it, like a little anal about that, I could split them up into 3 slots. But I am pretty confident that 75K is going to sell in 24 hours. And tomorrow's episode probably won't be a fresh start. Maybe it'll be a fresh start too. Maybe I'll have time to grab that and then maybe do a twofer for tomorrow. But it all depends on like how tomorrow plays out. So, whatever. So now we are here. We're going to go through and then sell everything for 6. It should be pretty easy math. It should be the same for every account except for a couple. So I'll take 3, whatever the, what is it, 450 times whatever, 18 or 17. And then that'll give us the bulk majority of our accounts here. And then we will take the other ones and add them in manually. Because a couple of these had 80k runes instead of 75k. So we made some bonker dollars today. Net worth increased. Hella. It's only one account, 480. Yeah, so it's just whatever plus 30k. So it's 20 times, so it's 450 times 20 plus 30. So it's add 9 mil to the cash stack. So why that's 9 mil is because you take whatever that is times 1,000. And that's 9 mil. Right, so we're at 9 mil. And this one's going to be a super long episode. Hope you guys are ready for that. I don't know. This is kind of fun little freestyle. I don't know. I guess I could just go back to 0 and it wouldn't really matter for sub count and stuff like that. But 2680. So it's 9030. So I'll divide that back by 1,000. Get back down to our 9030 plus 2680. Giving us a total of, you can't see that on your cell phones, but you have a total of 35,830. So we're at 35 mil, 830,000 total net worth. So I'm going to write that down quick. Because sometimes I'll like close stuff and then forget about it. So yes, this is where I normally minimize, and I'll go into the display settings, and then I'll go back to the normal size so you guys can read the notepad a lot easier and read my read everything a lot easier. Yep. So we are here. Keep changes. My camera's lagging out a lot today. Yep. So open the notepad up. We'll go to open, and we'll go to the OSRS series. This is where I got everything saved. Scroll all the way down. 714 today, 715. So 714 we were at 32,792. Today we are at 35,853. So if we subtract 35.853, that's also what the counter represents, because I can just put, that's mils, not thousands. It's not Ks, it's mils, it's Ms. Anyway, so 35.853, take away 32,792. So we are at 3 bill. Saw a slight increase in profit here. Not as much as I said the top line would be yesterday, like up to 5 mil. But that's okay. It's still an increase in profit. It like tomorrow is going to be a lot more than today. No, it won't. It'll be 2 days before we see a huge increase, because I have to make a couple sales in the second set of 20 before you start seeing huge net worth jumps, because we'll have huge sales and huge buys happening at the same time. But right now we only have 1 sale. So today we'll see a stark increase. Tomorrow we'll see a stagnant in that increase, that extra buff, that extra 450 per account. Or extra 75k per my second set of 20 accounts will not happen tomorrow, because we're just selling and we're putting our offers back in. But then there'll be, tomorrow's sale will be bigger. Or I don't know. After a couple rinses, we'll have a sell pile and 2 buy piles. But on the second set of 20 accounts, as you see, we only have 1 account active right now because we don't have any more money to make purchases with. And we're just going to let it rinse a couple times. So there'll be a delay in the growth. There'll be a delay in the growth in the net worth, because I was saying it could be upwards of 5 million a day. We only got 3 billion today, which is more than 2.6, but it's not what I said exactly. But that will probably happen if the market maintains, which it has been maintaining, and it will jump in 2 to 3 days, I believe. Back, I'm going to guess like 3.5 to 4.5 mil per day in gains, and it'll exponentially go up as we get more money onto the second set of accounts. Because like, as you can see from the pattern from the first set of accounts, it was kind of a slow roll here. Like, as you can see right here, we have a tracked mark. 13 mil net worth to 7 mil in 3 days, but then I started doing day to day here. So 8 to 9, we went up about 1.4 here, and then it went up again about 2 or 1.9 here, and then it was a 2, so 7 to 12. So this looks like a 2 mil, about 1.9, and then it started going up to a 2.6, or wait, 1.91. Some of these I didn't put the profit down, but as you can see, like from 712 to 713, was a 1.9 mil, or 711 to 712 was a 1.9 mil, but then 714 to 713 to 714 was a 2.62 mil, 2.672 mil. So it is going up. The profit per day is going up because what's happening there is as you get more money and reinvest it back into the system, you'll get that compounding. It's like compounding interest that'll happen just over time. And today that happened again. So we are at, our net worth is 35.853, which again is bigger. I gotta stop putting this extra information in. So it is 24 hours because that's how much it was. 24 hours because the second set of accounts were 24 hours too as well. Yes. So 35.853 mil. And this episode, I feel the longer it goes on, the less appealing to people it's going to be. But yeah, sorry about that, everybody, if that is the case for you. But I got to stick to my principles. Anyway, 715. Boom. So we saw a 3.061 mil profit. As you can see here, again, 2.672 profit, 3.061 profit, and that was a bigger jump than the other tracks here. 2.6, 1.9, I guess, whatever. It did went up though. It did go up, and it will continue to go up exponentially. Or it's not going to be exponentially like flat. It's going to go up like staggered, but it will trend up over a long period of time because more money invested, more money returned until we hit the diminishing return, which will be the top of the fire rune market, depending on how big you guys get and how big I get. That will happen at a certain time, but then that is when we start bleeding into other items. That's when you like air runes, water runes, earth runes, etc. So right, there we go there. And we got a 300K donation pile, so we're at 3.5 mil. And there's that. So now let's just quickly run through the forecast because this is 46 minutes long. But yeah, at least I was able to add a lot of value to this, I feel. Anyway, let's go to the main screen. Daily volume for the fire runes, right in the hot spot. LOL, as the fire runes would be hot. That is the funny inside joke I have with myself here. 475 daily volume. 300 mil for the air runes, really nice volume there. 208 million for the water runes, really nice volume there. 184 for pure essence. Seems kind of light still. I mean, does anybody else get that feeling too? Yeah. Earth runes, 125, doing about double your average rate we've been seeing for a couple days. So anyway, let's hop into the fire runes. The margin split. We had the 10 mil dump from yesterday, and then since then, nothing really crazy, except for if this guy sold 10 mil, unless 440. Unless the 440 was the high price. Yes, the high price was 5 at 440. That's kind of crazy. So that's interesting. That may signal that there's maybe a couple more bucket dumps, like from yesterday. If we look yesterday, I guess it's not showing up. They don't show up as much as clearly as they do on the 7-day chart as they do the 1-day chart, unless it happens multiple times. That's why this showed up. But you know, we're seeing a lot of good volume. We got a good daily volume here at 475. And if a 10 mil dump came in at 5, awesome. And it didn't crash it, honestly. I think that's actually good news. But 10 mil dump. That's probably why I got paid so much. But then we got another little dump here of 2 mil. Another little dump over here, 1 mil. Another little dump here, 1.75 mil. Those are the dumps that really get us paid because that's when everybody's buy limits start hitting. And then that's when it filters into the accounts that are waiting. But yeah. So fire rune. Let's look at air runes. 2010 yesterday, that was around the same time that fire rune dump happened. So that guy was really hurting for money. He dumped 20 mil air runes at the same time. He dumped 10 mil, whatever here. So we got a big margin crash over here. Air runes taking a little hit. A lot of volume. That kind of tells me, again, I don't think it's because of any huge major dumps here, but just because the sheer volume, I think buy limits are just getting hit. Like the accounts, because there's less accounts waiting for air runes. So as their 4-hour buy limits hit, as this I'm going to guess is about 4 hours. So this will be 1400 is when the crash happened. And then it lasted 2 hours. Is that 2? About 3 hours. 2 to 3 hours. Then they kind of recovered. So that would be, ample time for the accounts that were in there waiting to refresh Plus, also, I mean, there's bots and there's like flippers that are like looking at that item, but if they see that the margin is 5.4, maybe people will surge to it as well to like really pump that and get that back up and replace the demand. But yeah, buckets getting filled up from people who are just waiting for trades, hitting their 4-hour limits / botters noticing that it is now a 5.4 margin. Because if it is 5.4 for a couple hours, I think a lot of people would notice after a couple hours that it is 5.4 and then start scooping that up because 4 is like such a good price. And even just insta buying at 5 would be really good too. Because if you can insta buy at 5 and then put it back in and wait for 6, that's amazing. That's amazing. And that's like 2 hours of insta buying at 5. So that's like super good. So I think my second part of that theory is what happened. People will go, oh my God, I can insta buy at 5? Oh, let me check the prices.runescapewiki.com. Oh my God, 6.5? It's been 6.5 for almost 30 days? Holy shit, that's easy money. And then they could have just surged it up. And at worst, they just sell it back for 5 and lose their time. So I mean, like, stuff like that would happen. Water runes, we're seeing a lot of margin fights or margin crashes here. It is fighting to remain at 6.5 or fall down. If we look at the dump, looks like that guy was hurting for money. He dropped 19 mil of water runes as well at the same time. And then we have another couple big dumps here. 5 mil here, 4.7 mil there, 1.3 there. Then there's a bunch of like almost 1 mil. Then we have a 1.7 mil here. I could see all that happening and causing a couple crashes because this isn't as popular. This is the third most popular out of the 4 Ellie's. So yeah, I could see that crashing. Like the margins aren't going to be as stable at 6.5. But again, just keep in mind, we may be heading to that point where it might crash back down. Like if one of the elemental runes starts crashing down, they usually all follow each other. But the last one to crash down to 5.4 will be fires, but they all tend to follow each other. But who really knows? 5.4, probably going to be top heavy. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in again. 106 over 80, 18 over 1, 84 over 30, 14 over 92. That's not even a lot of volume, but like there's that 19 mil dump. 2010, that guy was really, really hurting. He sold off his entire collection. But yeah, if we zoom in here, 3 million over 40, 56 over 1, 93 over 50, 61 over 47. So it's biased towards the high side. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I was saying before, if you can get Earth Runes for 4, you can know very well that they're going to sell back into the GE very quickly. And then let's look at the Pure Essence again, see if they're still doing that weird pattern. Ah, yes. It seems to maybe be spreading out. Maybe that event's over and it's just going to go back to 1 again. But we're seeing a bunch of gaps again. Those first couple days we saw that the Pure Essence were like kind of like peaking up, and it looked like it's hitting 2 a lot more than it used to. Because like this isn't a lot, mind you. This is still going to need a lot of buying pressure to go back up to 2, because the amount of points on the top versus the bottom. But this is just a signal that it might compound or it might steamroll forward, and we might need to keep an eye on that. So yeah. And that's today's episode. The thing I wanted to talk about, but this is 52 minutes long now, so I can't really talk about it. I'll include it in another video, and I'll make it a standalone little thing to talk about. I think it's very interesting. It's about my nefarious episode of the fish thing. And some of the comments that people made on that video, I'd like to educate why they're wrong. I don't want to disparage them or talk crap about them, but there's one guy in particular on there who made, in my opinion, a dumb comment, and I want to explain why he was wrong. So if you made it this far, you better be subscribed at this point, because you just sat through 53 minutes of me ranting and raving about random shit. So anyway, whatever. Maybe I'll even, whatever. It's a funny joke, and I've been saying it for a lot of videos, and it's been giving me some subs, so I've been kind of leaning on it. Maybe I'll switch it up, but anyway, yeah. That's today's episode of Fresh Start. Hope you guys, it's different, you know what I mean? It's different, good, different, bad. We'll see, you know, from the feedback I get. Let me know in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. Catch you guys later in the next episode. See you tomorrow. And see ya. Hopefully this was a decent episode. Hopefully it wasn't too much filler. Hopefully it was a lot of value for you guys. I really am trying to serve you guys as viewers, trying to train up an army of multi-scapers, and I'm really, really trying my hardest to figure out how to like convey information to you guys to help you make money, keep you motivated. Every little thing that like I'm just chinking in my head, trying to get any piece of valuable knowledge I can get out to what I feel like is good for you guys. And I don't feel like editing does that very much, you know what I mean? Like the jump edits and stuff like that. I could prepare better like videos and stuff. Like today I actually took notes and like I brainstormed for a couple hours before I jumped on this one. And then yeah, here you go. See you later. Hope you guys enjoyed.